The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, TGIF, and thank God it's Friday. Here we are once again on another Friday, and what a Friday it's going to be. We're looking forward to the weekend. Welcome to another edition of the Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. I'm going to be with you for a whole full hour. We meet here every Friday, as you already know, at this time, and we get together with nice conversation and whatever you want to talk about. That's why we're so glad to have you aboard with us, and you could be part of this show. I want to take time to thank all of our people who have been with us all of these years for being so loyal and watching this show. We thank you so much. Sometimes you come in and out, but that's okay. And we want to say hello to all of the people who may be possibly new to the show. And if that's you, well, let me tell you what the show is all about. As I said, each Friday we get together on the Coffee Hour and we get together with a little conversation. And that's where you come in. Now, I threw out maybe something to get started, some kind of thing that will get a conversation going with. I'll start out with that as prepping the show. And as I do that at any time at all, even right now as we speak, you can just use your keyboard on your computer, be it laptop or desktop, your telephone or your tablet. Type in whatever you want to talk about. I'll see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. Now, that's what the show is all about. It's free exchange of ideas and of opinion. And since we have those together, we're going to combine all of them, yours, mine, and everyone that come in. Now, you can not only see me or hear me, you could also see people who come in as well, and you could talk to them as well. So we can get together as a family and talk all kinds of issues. And later on in the program, we've got later on before the show is over, I have those movies that I always tell you about, those movies that we talk about. And those movies are what they call Turner Classic Movies. Now, each week I go into the vault of Turner Classic Movies and I pick out movies that I think are worth watching, the classic ones. They could be color, they could be black and white, whatever they are, they're classics. And I kind of pick them out because being at the weekend is here and you're going to do whatever you're going to do on the weekend. Maybe you are one of the ones that may want to take time and check out some movies that you haven't seen in a long time. So I just want to add the movies that I have for you from Turner Classic Movies to your bucket list of movies that you may want to watch. And I'm pretty sure even though that you have great resources on getting your own entertainment, that's okay too, because it's more than ever now because we have all of these apps, whether they're free apps or premium apps, and you can watch these movies. So I just want to just add that to the bucket list. I want to say hello to Mary Reed out there with us. She's watching us right there on YouTube. And Mary, thank you so much for being along with us. And a good morning to you. So ladies and gentlemen, remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of YouTube, Facebook, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So with that in mind, let's raise our cups and our glasses with our elements in it, because what would the Coffee Hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. Iced coffee. You see that frost on the glass, Brian? Well, it's metal. You
I
see that
see it. Yeah,
nice and cold.
I see it. Nice, very nice. Chilling,
Nice.
chilling.
Yeah, it is. Uh, we're over the heat wave. This has nothing to do with the heat wave because we're over that now. But just to cool out.
Okay.
Brian is with me, and he has the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's coming along with that, and right throughout the show, he's going to be here. And he has an adventure because Brian is not even in Charlotte. He usually comes to Charlotte. Where are you at this point?
I'm in St. Augustine, Florida. made some headway from where we was talking last night from the Bahamas to right now in St. Augustine, Florida. Had a roller coaster.
Okay.
That almost got me arrested. I'll talk about that off the air. But I'll say this. Florida is not for a person like for me. So
Mm,
we'll leave it like that. Thank you, Mr. President.
mm. Wow. Can't wait to hear that.
Yeah,
Can't wait to hear that one. Um, See, and it's not just Florida, it's anywhere you go.
true.
These are not living in very good times right now. And people have to do the best they can. I mean, you heard that story, right? We talked about it last night. I'm sure you heard that story about this, or maybe we didn't mention it. But there was uh, a guy that was shot and killed in Texas. I think I did mention it lightly. Shot and killed in Texas. Just before we went off the air, I mentioned that he got shot and killed in Texas, and he wasn't
Right.
armed. He wasn't doing anything. This was
Yeah.
supposed to be a so-called ICE situation, and there wasn't the cars. Their cars weren't marked. They weren't marked cars. They were wearing masks, and naturally, if you're going to drive your car and someone approaches your car and you don't know who they are, and it's an unmarked car and they're wearing masks, you're going to try to get the hell out of town. And that's exactly what he did. And he got shot over it. And he was only going to work. He was on his way to work.
Yeah.
This is a man that's been married for 35 years. He has children and he was off to work. And there you go. Shot and killed.
That's that's terrible. Texas is another state. I get issues with Texas also.
Mm.
In
You're freezing. You're coming in and
as
out.
well,
Yeah.
slavery was over in 1863. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, slavery was over in 1863. The people in Texas just finding out that it was over.
Yeah. They didn't read
Not
the
blaming the
memo.
whole state for that. Just like I can't blame the whole state of Florida. No,
Yeah.
they didn't read the memo.
Yeah. Or they
And it
didn't
is
get
what
it.
it is.
Or
Yep,
they didn't get either they didn't get it or they got it and didn't read it. And that's the way it is.
exactly. That's my point. That's my point.
Mhm.
As big as the country was, even though the country was still growing back then, you mean to tell me word could not get around quick enough, or it was
Yeah.
withheld? You know, um, I mean, we are in some times of really some troubling times, and we have to be very careful how far we could take this to the next level. It could have got ugly today, this morning.
Oh,
Don't
this
really want to
morning?
talk much about it. For with my situation, it got really, really ugly. That could have got really, really worse.
Mhm.
When you're dealing with federal agents, and when you're dealing with TSA and all that stuff, you just don't want people to talk to you in any kind of way. I draw the line. At some point, I draw the line, and it went from that
Yeah, draw a
to me
thin line.
being a
You draw a thin line because you want respect. You demand respect. You get respect.
yeah,
You don't want to
especially
disrespect people, but at
right,
the same time, you don't want them to talk to you any way they feel like
especially when it comes to my wife. Especially when it comes to my wife.
it. Oh,
There's a
okay.
situation that occurred without going into detail, but you're not going to
Yeah.
talk to me any kind of way, so but
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm still alive, coming off a wonderful week on a cruise, celebrated my 64th birthday and my 15th wedding anniversary all in one day. They sang happy
Yeah.
birthday to me. I got my little card here, Royal Caribbean and everything. By the way, I'm I'm a diamond member. Got a little status there. But all joking aside, it was really a nice trip, beautiful
Mhm.
time with families, my in-laws, and everything. It was really great, except for that moment that still. I put it like this: I'm glad I'm on the show now because
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I get it. I understand. I understand.
come
You
up a
know,
little bit. So that's why I'm glad to be here on the show. So, but Mary, I'm okay, Mary. I'm okay, Mary.
yeah, she says, don't let anything spoil your joy.
Yeah, can't
Yeah,
let nothing spoil my joy. You're right.
yeah, yeah.
So, yep. So,
And a hearty hello to Warren Dantzler out there in, well, he's south. He's south. So he's out there in Greensboro, North Carolina. He's with us. So I want to say good morning to him out there. I don't know if you could see Facebook. I know you can see YouTube. Can you see Facebook? Because that's where he is.
I have
He's out.
Facebook, but I don't. I'm trying to get. Oh yeah, I see him. Yes. Hello,
Yeah,
Warren. Hello, Mary. Hope all is well with everybody. And who else is ever out there? I greet you. Good morning, wherever you might be coming across the globe and everything.
yeah. I see you do have sun coming in because I could see the reflection off your shirt of the sun. So I see you got a little
Oh
sun
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it is
Oh
it
yeah. For
warm?
sure.
Is it
It's
warm?
87 degrees.
He's got to
It's
buckle up because
87
it's
degrees
showtime.
out there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Showtime. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to get pulled over either. Well, yeah, it's 87 degrees. It's some wonderful weather out here in the Sunshine State. And
Yeah,
so yeah, it's pretty warm out here, you know. Headed
yeah,
back to the Queen City though.
yeah. It's always nice to go traveling, but it's oh so nice to come back home.
Right.
Uh, as they
Absolutely.
as they say in the song. Anyway, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, we're going to be with you for the remaining of the hour. And for whatever you want to talk about, we really would appreciate it. And also, uh, if you want to join us in conversation, we would appreciate that too. And if you do, as I always ask you, it's not mandatory, but it's just something like I have a little fun with it because I like to check my weather compared to your weather and to Brian's weather where he is. He's on remote right now to compare to Warren's weather and Mary's weather. Mary's coming out of New York, so we're kind of sharing the same kind of weather, which I am going to be talking about a little later on. I have that for you. But for the rest of you, share yours and let us know what you got going out there. Do you have any idea, or did you mention it, how hot it is, or what the degree temperature is over there in Florida?
It's 87 degrees.
Oh,
Florida is a very hot month, So you know, it's beautiful. It's always beautiful weather out here all year round. But
mm,
the thing about Florida, they're prone to have hurricanes. So you got to be very careful about with Florida. But this is Florida is a retirement state. Where people just want to settle down. But I know I've spoken to people in the past who had left who wanted to move from Florida because it was too hot you know. So they wanted to, they moved down to Charlotte, North Carolina. They move a little north. Some people can and can adapt to the hot weather, and some can't.
mm,
Um, as long as you have a fan on me or air conditioner, I'm fine.
mm.
I'm fine.
Yeah, because I remember a time people used to rush to Florida. They used to
Yeah.
rush there,
Oh yeah.
especially people who lived in big cities, like New
Oh
York and
yeah.
Chicago and Detroit and all of those places. They used to rush to Florida when they retired. They wanted to spend their retirement years in Florida. And now, I don't know, things the way they are now. I hear other people say, "Nah, I moved here, but I want to get out." Some people prefer to stay, and some people want to go as far as leaving the country, which I say to you, don't do it. You know, you heard a lot of people say that. Well, I'm going to move. I don't like the way things are because I'm getting out of this country. I'm going to move to Canada. Everybody say I'm moving to Canada. I'm moving to Italy. I'm moving to here. I'm moving to there because I don't like what's going on in the United States. And I say to those people, you have nothing to run away from because you invested your time and your life. You worked here, you lived here, and you don't want to leave anything that you built here back for anyone
Exactly.
else to enjoy. And that's why I
Mhm.
would never leave this country for that same reason. I sweated all my life. I bled all my life. I worked hard, uh, and I became a good citizen. And I'm not leaving that behind. Shouldn't let anybody destroy you like that.
I say for me, I've always been a very good citizen. I I came from of a very good background. We was poor, but we had structure. We was taught not to hate, not to dislike, to respect
Mhm,
your elders, whether we liked them or not. We couldn't.
mhm.
There was times where we could not. Um, if our mother was like talking to somebody, and we stood there and not say anything, then we get popped in the mouth. You always got to be respectful and speak.
I still,
That was
I
the
still,
structure of growing up.
still
Huh?
have the bumps.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But my hits were unexpected with backhand slaps and everything.
Oh,
Uh,
those are
you know,
those are the worst. Those are the
those were the
worst.
day. Yeah. I
That was
always
called
said I always said that my mother should have been incarcerated the way that she used to hit me and everything. Even even though I was her favorite child, I still believe I was her favorite child, but she should have been incarcerated. But
yeah.
instead I do it
Well,
because I love you.
if she did it today, if she were around and she did it today, she probably would be because back then they call it discipline. Today they call it child
That's right.
abuse.
That's right. Exactly.
You know?
She always said, this is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. Oh, really? Oh, really?
That I never believed. That
But
I
you know
never
what?
believed.
But you know what? It kept me out of jail. It kept me out of trouble. I just with me, the best way to describe me, I have a big bark. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna bite unless I have to. But I'm just a mouthy person and everything. So
Hmm. And she always told you to fight, never run away from a fight. Don't start it,
don't run away.
don't
Yep.
run away, but don't run away from one.
Yeah.
Because
Oh
if you
yeah.
did, now you have to deal with her.
Oh
And I
yeah.
remember,
And that was
I remember,
worse.
and it's worse, right? And I remember my
Yeah.
mom used to say, you go out there and fight, and because if you don't, if you come up here, it's going to be worse. So I had to weigh the
Right.
options here. Do I get my little ass kicked by her or the guy on the street? I said I'm going to go for the guy on the street.
Yeah. I was in a situation where I was about to fight this guy. I really didn't want to fight him because I thought that he was going to take me out. But before it was getting really close, I was looking at him and I thought about my mother. Then I looked at him again. So instead of wasting any more time, I charged after the man because I didn't want to go home because her theory was if you fight and put up a good fight, they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
leave you alone.
Mm-hmm.
Chances
Yeah, they
are,
will. They
So
will.
that's why I always honor my mother today, every day. And like I said last week or 2 weeks ago, this October 29th will be 40 years that she's been gone.
Yeah,
40 years, you know.
yeah, yeah. Brian, Warren is going to be blazing hot out there. He's got 86 degrees out there where he is right now, and it's going to go up to 92, but he's going to get thunderstorms later on today.
Okay.
So that's what's going to get. So maybe you may meet a little rain as you travel into Charlotte. Maybe. I'm not saying, because usually what he has, you normally get
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Down here in the South is good when it rains, because we have droughts here where it doesn't rain for a while. And it helps the grass, and it helps other things. It cleanses the air as well too, so
Oh, good.
I would say rain is a good thing for us.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay. Those of you, again, if you're going to join in conversation, give us your weather forecast. Mary, you relax. You don't have to worry about because you're a local person in New York, just like I am. So I'm going to take care of that right now. So what we have going on
Uh-huh.
here in New York, the weather is not going to be that bad as I thought it would be. We're going to start off. It's for the most part of the weather, it's going to be dry. It's going to be dry because we're going to get a little rain, I guess, sometime today, not much, but a little bit. So this is what we have right now. We've got partly cloudy skies right now this morning, and then becoming cloudy during the afternoon hours. We'll have a stray shower or thunderstorm developing that may be possible. We'll have a high 87 degrees. Winds will be west northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, it's going to be partly cloudy skies. You don't have to worry about taking the umbrella out at this point. We'll have a low 73. Winds will be light and variable. For tomorrow, Saturday, that's my favorite day of the weekend, of course. And I savor it when it comes around too. Sunshine and clouds mixed with a high of 83 degrees. Winds will be northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for Saturday night, if you're going out, leave the umbrella home. Don't carry any dead weight. We'll have some clouds early. We'll give way to generally clear conditions overnight. We'll have a low around 68. Winds will be light and variable. And Sunday, as we wrap, but this is the better day of the week, of the weekend. It's going to be mostly sunny skies. We'll have a high 84 degrees. Winds will be northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it moves right along. And, sometimes the weather just throw curves at you. We could say something now, and then later on, something else will happen. Anyway, that's our weather forecast. Right now, I want to move over to sports. So, what do you got going with sports, Brian?
Well, there's a lot going on. The World Cup is the U.S. has been eliminated by Belgium. The U.S. put up a good fight until they played Belgium. When they got punched in the mouth, the U.S. never really recovered. That's the sad part about it. They didn't put up much of a fight against this last match. They had a star player was reinstated today, according to reports that the president of the United States made a call and he was able to play. I don't know how much he had in it, but their star player, his name escapes me right now, able to play, but they still lost. America is getting better with soccer. Uh, the African countries are doing a lot better in recent years of getting better with soccer, but soccer in the World Cup has been primary. South America, Europeans are the ones that really dominate. America and Canada, who are the two countries that's in North America, have done pretty well. But as you get into the round, you're gonna do stiff competition. So France, Argentina, those are the two favorites right now to win the World Cup. So congratulations to the United States, but they didn't put much of a fight. Once you score a goal, person that scores the first goal, you have a huge advantage. Now you start to keep away. So you fall down, they talk basketball, they come hopping, every whistle blows and everything. Um, they will have to get back to the board and everything. Actually, Big Summer Classic is underway. Is believe it or not, July 4th was the All-Star Show selection. July 10th, which is today, is the Swingman Classic. Don't ask me what the Swingman Classic is. Haven't been following, and these All-Star games are not what they used to be. You can see that game tonight at 7 p.m. on the MLB Network. July 12th, which is I believe that's Sunday, they will have the Major League All-Star Futures games at 12 noon. That will be on NBC, and all the All-Star 3-on-3 new event. That's a new event following future games. July 13th, which is a Monday, is the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby at 8 p.m. That'll be on Netflix. All these networks, I tell you, these cable stations and these other networks, they're all getting a piece of the pie. So Netflix will carry that. The big game, July 14th, which is Tuesday, they have the All-Star Red Carpet Show at 2 p.m. and that would be on the MLB Network network. And after that, the game itself, the All-Star game, 8 p.m. That game will be seen on Fox Television. So this is the day, this is the week coming after Sunday. I believe this is the week where all these players who are not in the All-Star game will take a week off as well, and they will enjoy their time off. Major League, in the NBA, let's go back. Baseball right now, the Mets and Yankees, they are in oh, they are in some serious trouble. Mets already fired their manager. Aaron Boone might be next too. The Yankees won the game last night after a streak of 19 consecutive games without scoring more than 5 runs. Oh, they made it up last night, but they still got a long way to go. So Mets and Yankees is, you're not doing well. There's a big market. So you got to get yourself ready and get things going and get it happening. Basketball, the NBA, the Heat acquired Tim Hardaway Jr. as a free agent. He is the father. He's the son of Tim Hardaway, the legendary Tim Hardaway. He's senior. His number 10 is being retired. Now he said that he wasn't going to let nobody wear his number, not including his son either. But they had a family meeting. You know how families want to debate, but somehow or another, how can you deny your son or not wearing your number? So they had a discussion to where I was told, and that Tim Hardaway Jr. will wear his father's jersey, the number 10. Tim Hardaway Sr. was a very excellent player for the Miami Heat. So congratulations that they will be, allowing the son to play. Now, Mark Cuban, many of you know him was formerly known as the principal owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Well, he's accusing Dallas Mavericks governor, Patrick Dumont, who's the majority owner of the team, of freezing the team's former majority owner out of the business. Opportunities in a proposed move of the club out of downtown, according to the newspaper report. Now, Mark Cuban used to be the majority owner, but he sold his majority shares to Dumont and to other investors, but in agreement that Mark Cuban will still be the person that the organizations in everyday transactions and players, trades, and everything. Well, apparently Cuban was upset, didn't like the idea how he's been freezed out of all the decisions of not only players development, but also as financially as well. So there's a little rift within the family. Let's see what happens in the near future. Hopefully they could get this thing established. Right now, Cuban owns 27% of the Mavericks, but the newspaper reported that there's a clause in the purchase agreement that allows Addison and Dumont families to buy another 20% of Cuban stakes. So Cuban may be forced out. He was a big fixture back then with the team as well. Now, this day in sports, July 10th, let's say 1964, Jesus Alou. He is the father of Felipe Alou and the nephew of Maddie and Jesus Alou. It's the first San Francisco Giant in 40 years to get 6 hits in a game in a 10-3 win over the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. 1968, U.S. Major League Baseball announces that it will be split into 2 divisions in 1969. And birthdays on this day, let's see, world champion, Jake LaMotta, middleweight champion, 1949 to 1951, was immortalized in Raging Bull. Now, if you know anything about Raging Bull, Robert De Niro played the part of Jack LaMotta. He was born in New York City as a kid. He was born and raised there. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports. Not much to really talk about because it is the halfway point of the Major League Baseball season. Football is still off season, and basketball just completed their season. So it's really the World Cup and just gossip news.
You know, the New York Yankees and the New York Mets better follow suit of the New York Knicks. Get in there and play some ball and stop fiddle-faddling around. I was talking to in the gym this morning. I go to the gym, and I have a lot of gym mates over there that are Yankee fans. And I was talking to one of them today, and we discussed the possibility of, I don't know how strong the possibility is about Aaron Boone being fired from the Yankees. But they're not doing very well at all. And as I told you last night, that I think even though the Yankees had a bad season last season as well, I thought maybe in between the off seasons, right? They would have went down to the farm and checked out some more people to see what they got, try to pick out their very best to bring them up at least for a while anyway. And evidently they didn't do that. So they have no bullpen. They didn't have no starting pitchers. They have nothing. They have nothing. And I'm frustrated with them.
Well, listen, New York is a huge baseball market. New York is, when you say New York, that's where people come in, free agents come in, but they're not drawing people in. They're not drawing the free agents in. George Steinbrenner was a fixture. Like him or not, George Steinbrenner was bringing people in, free agents. He was buying championships.
That's right.
But he's no longer here. What in the
Yeah.
hell is his son doing? His sons, I should say. They don't know how to run a ball club. Brian Cashman, the GM, what have you done for me lately, dude? You haven't done anything. So the Yankees are more in shambles than the Mets are, but I guess with the Yankees, they stretching the leash a little bit for Brian Cashman. Because if there's anybody that should go before the manager, it should be the general manager, or maybe they should go at the same time. I don't want to wish nobody to get fired, but if you're not doing what you're supposed to do,
yeah, well, we were just talking about that. I talked about that earlier this morning. I said the same thing. Rest his soul, may he rest in peace. George Steinbrenner, if he were here, this wouldn't be going on. This would not be going on.
Yep.
And I used to always wonder why George Steinbrenner used to hang out in the dugout with the Yankees. I said, I'm thinking to myself, this guy, he's like putting the pressure on, he's intimidating. But now I get it, because the guy spared no expenses at all. He paid their players good money. I mean, real good money. And so it was his right to say, hey, look, I'm paying you guys, so produce. If not, it's over.
That's right.
And right now the Yankees are, like I said, they're not in a good place right now. They're in a very bad place because now they have Aaron Judge, who's not playing. He's still on the injured list. I don't know when he's coming out of that. He's 34 years old.
Well, Aaron Judge is out injured. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's out injured. He's 34 years old. He's under a 10-year contract. Remember when he signed that last contract he signed? It was 10. What was that, about 2 years ago? 3 years ago? Anyway, by the time that contract is over, by the time that contract is over, he's going to be in his 40s. He's going to be at least 40 years old. And I was telling someone, I said, I would never sign a contract for that long. 10 years? That's a long time. You're locked in there for 10 years. Unless of course they want to buy you out.
Well, put it like this. Well, this goes back to the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. Mm-hmm. Owners want to stop guaranteed contracts. Major League Baseball is the only sport that when you sign a contract is guaranteed. Okay, so
Mhm.
you want sometimes me personally, I would want a long-term contract. I would want that because your money's guaranteed. You know,
Yeah,
some in the other sports, you sign a 10-year contract, but how many years of it is guaranteed? See, that's the key point. The whole key of the contract is not how much you make, is how many years of the contract is guaranteed.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
but I was thinking about suppose he wanted to go to the San Francisco Giants, which by the way, he's a San Francisco Giant fan,
yeah.
and he's from San Francisco. Suppose he wanted the the Giants made him a bigger deal. Now
I
he's
don't.
locked in.
Well,
He can't.
this is the thing. I'll speak on that. The Giants
Okay.
did offer him a good deal, but he used that for um bait. He used it to try to see if the Yankees would budge. I don't like.
Uh,
That's why I don't want Aaron Judge on our team because he used us as a negotiation bait. So no, Aaron Judge, stay your ass in New York and leave my San Francisco Giants alone. I'm
I
sorry.
just I just figured I'd throw
Sorry,
it
ladies
out
and
there.
gentlemen. I'm a little bit on fire. Just a little fire. I'm fired up today from what happened this morning, but I'm all right though. I'm okay. So, you know,
Well,
just let me
I
get it
just
out
figure
some kind of way.
I just figure I'd throw the idea out there because he had no in the beginning he had no intentions of ever being a Yankee. He wanted to be a San Francisco Giant. And now he turns out
Exactly.
to be a Yankee under that 10-year contract. And I'm just saying, suppose he wanted to go back home and say, hey, I'm finished with New York. I want to go back to the Giants. But you say, what, stay away? That's what you say? Stay away. All
Stay
right, Judge.
away.
All right, Judge. Stay away
34
from.
years old. What are we gonna do with you yeah. Now if you was in your 20s and 24, yeah, bring him along. Bring him along. So, by the way, Travis Hunter was on the same cruise that we was on. Travis Hunter is a NFL player that plays
Uh-huh.
offense and defense.
Uh-huh.
You probably heard of him,
Yeah.
where his teammates had told him, "Don't marry this certain woman. She's going to use him," and he married her anyway. And within a month or two after that, she filed for divorce. So she was thinking ching ching. She was thinking my money, but he was on this cruise. He was playing basketball on the cruise. He's a professional football player, but
Uh-huh.
he also plays basketball as well.
You got to see him? Did you get to meet him?
I saw him on videotape. I didn't go upstairs to play basketball. Too hot. It was too hot. It was too hot. Because the courts
Yeah.
are outside. You're on a
Yeah.
cruise. It's a nice setup, but it's
Yeah.
just too hot.
Yeah.
But I did some zip lining though.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I did some zip lining. Yes, 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 yes.
Did you? Years ago,
So yeah,
I would have said, no problem. I do it. I don't know. As you get older, you say, hey, you know something? I'm not as old. I'm not as young as I used to be. So I don't think I'll do any zip lining at all. I'll just take it easy. But there's a lot of things to do on a cruise like that. You could zip line, you could play basketball and all
bungee,
kinds of things. All
bungee
kinds of
jumping. Yeah, yeah.
bungee. Yeah, bungee. Well, you know something? That's another thing I probably would have done in my earlier years because I when I was younger, I was a journaling junkie. So and then as you get older, you say, no, the bones are not as tough as they were back then because the older you get, the brittle you get. so, so I figure I just watch
Exactly.
it. I see other people do it, and I watch it. And I say, hey, I could have done that a long time ago.
That's right.
The other day I was watching. I was on Facebook, and someone that I know posted a photo of some high school or junior high school guys climbing the rope. Remember the old days when you went to the gym, you had gym, and they had those ropes, and you climb it to the ceiling. You ever see that?
Yep.
I used to do
Yes.
that. I used to do
Yep.
that
Yep.
in John
Yep.
Erickson Junior High School. I used to do that. I used to climb those ropes, hit the top of the ceiling, and climb back down. And I always made it to the top. I always made it to the top. That was one thing I was good at. But
Because you got to curl your feet at the bottom to
yeah,
to pull you up and everything. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But it was fun. It was fun. God help you if you fell, because the mats at the bottom are like that thin.
Mm-hmm.
God help
Yep.
you. Okay, just in case you guys are joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. We hope that you get a chance to uh, talk with us as well and join in the conversation. It's just not me and Brian. All of us can join in and say whatever you have to say, because it's National Ice Cream Month, So, what is your favorite ice cream? National Ice Cream Month, all month long. National Ice Cream. You
Chocolate.
know,
Chocolate.
chocolate. Chocolate. The only thing about chocolate ice cream, though, is it makes you delirious. At least it makes me delirious. Too much chocolate.
I
You
know.
know.
Hey, I'll take that high anytime.
And then you have National Blueberry Month that you could have with your pancakes. National Hot Dog Month. This is all summertime stuff. It's National
Oh
Hot
God.
Dog Month, and you can eat your hot dog any way you want. People have different ways of eating hot dogs. I just stick with the basic: mustard and sauerkraut, mustard or onions. No chili dogs, no banana peels, no nothing. Just regular, basic. And then there's National Grilling Month. For those of you who like to go out and grill, that's down your alley, Brian.
Yep.
That's what we celebrate this month. National Picnic Month. And for today, if you guys own animals, it's National Kitten Day. The little kitties, the little kittens.
Oh.
You see those little cute little beady-eyed kittens, right?
Oh.
So it's National Kitten Day. Uh, if you feel like clogging an artery, it's National French Fry Day.
Ah. I don't want to see another French fries for a month or so. French fry day. Where do you come
Yeah,
up?
French fry, just like French fry. They call them French fry potatoes. It's just like I watched that movie Sling Blade with what's his name? Billy Joe, the one that was married to Angela Jolie. Billy, Billy Joe, whatever his name is. He was the character. He
Billy
played that
Joel.
method. No, not Billy Joel, not the singer. I can't think of his name offhand. Someone will tell me about it. But he played in that movie Sling Blade, and he did a good job with it. He played like this mentally, but he was kind of smart in a way, even though he had an impairment. He was kind of smart in a way. Uh, but he used to talk. He talked like this. The character, I want some of them French fried potatoes. Give me some of them French fried potatoes. That's how he talked. So that's why I said French fried potatoes. And it's also, Warren, Pina Colada Day. So you could do that today, or you could do that over the weekend, or whatever you want to do. It's Pina Colada Day. That's what we got going. Anyway, welcome back. Those of you who are watching us, we welcome you, and we want to talk to you. If you'd like to talk to us, we won't talk to you unless you say something first, because we want to respect your privacy, because that's what we do. We respect your privacy. A lot of people just come in and just want to watch the show, and that's a good thing too. But for the most important thing, we like to respect your privacy. Louise Lasser, the star of Mary Hartman died. The actress died on Monday in Manhattan, in New York City. Lasser was born in New York City on April 11th, 1939. To parent Sol J. Lasser, he was a tax specialist, and her mom, Paula Lasser, who was a designer. She attended Brandeis University, and she majored in political science and performed in musicals and cabaret. She dropped out of her senior year to pursue acting, and she was 87 years old. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Arvo spent years looking to be inseparable while bringing Wicked to life. But now that the blockbuster franchise has wrapped its theatrical run, a new report claims that the pair is quietly taking a back step from their once high-profile, visible friendship. The timing has fueled speculations that something changed between the two co-stars, but you don't have to worry, because the insiders insist that the distance has less to do with bad blood and more to do with the two women reclaiming their individual careers after months of living in the wicked spotlight. While most of England spent last weekend debating whether to set the absurdly obscurity or whatever it is right there. Anyway, early alarm for the World Cup. A crackdown start. They call the crackdown was not a non-negotiable for Sarah Cox. Now, after 28 years on the airwaves, Cox finally made her debut as the host of Radio's 2 Breakfast Show on Monday morning. And as she made the switch to the 6 a.m. slot, Cox brought all of the silliness and fun from her type show program with an added dose of sparkle from an impressive A-list team. George Clooney, who's returning to a Venice Film Festival this year, he will be honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, the film festival organizers said that Monday that Clooney has been selected to receive the Golden Lion at the 83rd edition of the festival in September. And Venice is also where Clooney exchanged vows with his then wife in 2014. Broadway audiences will soon say hello, Dolly, once again. Dolly, the original musical based on the life of country music legend Dolly Parton, will open on Broadway this winter. Following a world premiere run in Nashville, Tennessee last year. Preview performances will begin December 7th in New York City at the St. James Theater. And that will open that night on January 19th, 2027. Taylor Swift's former high school teacher who later worked as her bodyguard died on the same day she was married to Travis Kelce. Taylor tied the knot with Kelce at Madison Square Garden in New York City last Friday night. The couple announced their marriage around 7:30 p.m. when jumbo screen screens outside of the arena displayed pink backgrounds that displayed the images of just married. Now, as Taylor and Travis celebrated the union with loved ones, Kirk Schwab, that was her teacher, tragically died due to renal cancer that same day. And Kirk taught the pop singer criminal justice in Henderson High School in Nashville, Tennessee, between 2004 to 2006. Birthdays today: actress, singer Jessica Simpson is 46 years old today. Actress Sofia Vergara is 54. R&B singer Willie Ford of the Dramatics is 76. Singer Arlo Guthrie is 79. Actress Sue Lyon, the late Sue Lyon, would have been 80 years old. Actor Ron Glass of Bonnie Miller would have been 81 years old. Mavis Staples of the Staples Singers is 87. Jazz trumpeter Lee Morgan would have been 88. Jazz singer Sandy Stewart would have been 89. Oh, she is 89. She's still around. Actor Nick Adams would have been 95. New York City former Mayor Dinkins would have been 99. Actor Fred Gwynne of the Munsters would have been 100. And journalist David Brinkley would have been 106. So let's say happy birthday to all of them. The ones that are alive, and the ones who are no longer with us, we still will acknowledge you each year your birthday comes around. So we want to wish you all a happy birthday. And Brian, your birthday, as you mentioned, was yesterday. So happy birthday to you too.
Thank you.
The only thing that you didn't mention is that same day is your anniversary, your wedding anniversary. Now, I'm saving your tuchus because I don't want to see you get a backhand slap for not mentioning it. So happy anniversary to the both of you. Katina, Brian, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
All right. And many, many more.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. Thank you.
Okay. If, ladies and gentlemen, you want to get in touch with me or Brian or you have a birthday coming up, I have an email address. So let me give that to you right now. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for productions. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Use that information anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and keep it all in your electronic devices. Now, if you have the following three devices, such as your computer, be it laptop or desktop, or your tablet or your telephone, keep them in all of them, just in case one doesn't kick it for you, then you have another one to lean back on. But keep all of that information with you. So let me give you that email address again, Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Bonnie Tyler, the singer best known for the hit Totally Eclipse from the Heart, has died. Tyler, known for her raspy voice, also had big hits in the 70s and the 80s, hits such as It's a Heartache and Holding Out for a Hero. Tyler was born in Skewen, Wales, 1951, and she was one of 7 children, and her father had become disabled fighting in World War I. Tyler was 75 years old. If you're just joining us, it's the Coffee Hour, and we thank all of you guys for being along with us. I want to give you these movies right away before we move into further conversation. I have the movies that I chose for you guys who desire to watch movies, and classic movies, I should say. And I got 2 from Turner Classic Movies, so I'm going to get them out of the way right now. This one goes back to 1964. It's called Robin and the Seven Hoods. It's a musical comedy starring Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr., the old boys together, the Rat Pack. And it comes on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. And then you have High Society, from 1956, Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, and Grace Kelly. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And you can go to Turner Classic Movies too and check out more movies that I didn't mention, because these are only my picks of the week. There may be more that you may desire to watch too, and you can watch them too. And also, if you have your cable still, you can go on and check out Turner Classic Movies, which will give you all the information I just gave you. And not only that, you can check out pay-per-view movies, the free movies, and there are movies for children. You have documentaries and sporting events and all of that go along with it. And you can still record these movies if you don't get a chance to check them out in real time, record them and watch them later. All right. So again, that's Robin and the Seven Hoods, that movie with Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr., Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 3:30 p.m. And High Society with Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, and Grace Kelly, Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. I hope you get a chance to check out these movies, and they are a great movie. I want to check and make sure that I acknowledge everyone who came in. I want to say hello again to all of you guys who are watching us. I see you, but I won't say anything unless you say something first. Mary is still out there with me. Thank you guys so much for being with us. Last night, Brian, you and I were talking about the missing Mitch Mulcahy. Now, I say missing only because I didn't hear from him. They say there's all kinds of stories that he's in the hospital, real sick, brain dead, or whatever it is, but we don't know the actual situation. And he's been missing since June 6th. And I don't know, they're holding this information back and not saying anything about it. And not saying anything about it.
I'll say this. The Republicans are not saying anything. Of course, the Democrats are not saying anything. The president of the United States is not aware of what's going on. If he does, he's not saying anything.
How
The
can he not
family's
be?
not
How
saying
can he?
much.
How can he
So
not be aware of this? I mean, maybe that's what he
that's an
wants everyone
excellent
to
question.
maybe that's what he wants people to believe. Because you ever notice that when people ask him certain questions, the media ask him certain questions, he may say something like, "Oh, I don't know about that. I can check it. I have nothing to do with that. I don't know anything about that." How can you be the leader of the free world and not know about anything in this country?
Listen, I'm not debating that with you. You're absolutely right. But we don't know whether or not Mitch McConnell's family is keeping a lid on things. We don't know nothing. You know, you'd be surprised. President may not know this, you know. It's shockingly that he doesn't because he knows everything else. He's into everybody else's business. He's always just for example, the that Democrat who was forced to leave out of the race that he's running for, certainly something pops up. Like I said this a couple of weeks ago. The
Yeah,
president of the United States is not a dummy.
yeah,
He's not
you're
a dummy.
referring
Huh?
to Graham Plattner.
Grand Platte, yeah.
Yeah,
Now he
Graham
was
Plattner.
he was accused of sexual harassment. Wow,
Yeah.
isn't this some kind of odd? Now this pops up. All of a sudden, this pops up in the middle of the incoming midterm, and his opponent is a good friend of Donald Trump's.
Yeah.
Hey, where there's smoke, there's fire. But when there's smoke, the president is on it. I tell you, do not sleep on this president. He will find ways to nail you. And I'm not saying this in a good way. This is who he is. This is who he is.
Well,
So
why don't we sleep on him? He sleeps on us. As a
he
matter
sleeps
of
on us.
fact,
Yeah, well,
as a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, just to switch gears a little, we can come back to this, but just to switch gears a little, since you brought that sleeping thing, uh, the um, the presidential state fair, that was a bomb. And during the fireworks, which by the way, the fireworks weren't really spectacular. There was more smoke and debris coming out than you could actually see the fireworks blowing up. And he fell asleep on the fireworks.
yeah, well,
Now, if you're going to
they got
fall asleep on, if you're going to, Brian, if you're going to fall asleep on anything, you're not going to fall asleep on fireworks.
put a firecracker in his ear. He'll still be asleep. You know, I mean, listen, it is what it is. I mean, listen, he is what he is. I'm used to him. I'm just disappointed in his supporters, the MAGA group. I was looking at CNN before I left the ship this morning. CNN has reported that Israel informed the United States that there's going to be an assassination attempt against the president of the United States. This was on
Okay.
CNN.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so maybe they know something that we don't know. Look, a
Which,
lot of stuff that is always cover up.
yeah. Which brings us to the subject of the Air Force One, the new one. When he went over to Turkey, he flew on the new Air Force One, which is not equipped, is not as equipped as the old Air Force, the original Air Force One. And this is the airline that he got. This was a gift from Qatar.
Yeah.
They gave him this plane, and so they painted it. He wanted the red, white, and blue. They put the presidential seal on it, and they flew it, but it doesn't have the equipment that the original Air Force One. So he flew to Turkey in that one, but he had to fly out of Turkey in the original Air Force One because they advised him to say it's not safe. It's not safe. Something
Hey,
could happen. If something happens to him, something could happen to him. Something could happen to us.
yeah.
It's not safe. See, with the original Air Force One, and I didn't even know this until yesterday, that the original Air Force One could refuel in midair. I didn't
Wow.
know that.
Well, I saw a movie on that. I think it was true. Where you can refuel while you're in the air. What they do is they put another airplane that's with Air Force One, and I think they connected in mid-air. They're going at the same speed, and they put
Hmm.
like a hose or a pipe down where it's supposed to be, and that's how you can refuel while you're in mid-air. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's nothing new. I saw it was a TV series or a movie or something I saw some years ago. But yeah, you can refuel while you're in mid-air.
Yeah. Speaking of refuel, I am going to get out of here. We're going to get out of here so I can refuel with my coffee in hand right here. We're going to come back here next week. You'll be here, right, Ryan?
I'll be here. Yes, God's
Okay,
willing, I
you
will be here. Yes.
okay. You guys get home safe. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, the rest of you, join us back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. for Talk Back Live. I'll be here with Brian Camp. He's my co-host, and we'll talk more. And we'll look forward to seeing you then. Other than that, come back here next Friday at 10 a.m. for more of the coffee hour. Until in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day and a great weekend. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.